Hey everybody, welcome back to Beyond the Beat. My name is Dave McKenzie. Please hit the subscribe button, it really helps us and we'll make more content for you. This is a short little video on C minor triads, or just basically how to form minor triads on your guitar. We did a little video on major triads, and so we're playing the first, the third, and the fifth of the C major scale. That makes the C major triad, which would be C, E, and G, all right? And then moving that around the neck produces, as long as you're hitting C, E, and G, you're making a C triad. To make a minor triad, all you have to do is alter one note, all right? So that note would be E. It's the third. So that third, if we flat it, it makes that minor sound, that sad sound. So again, so here's G in the bass, so G, C, and E flat. Quite somber, right, and sad. And then what I like to do with my triads, and I encourage you to do it, is work the triads out all over the neck. So that might seem like a daunting task. So break it down into really small, manageable things. So what I like to do as an exercise is I just work up my low E string, all right? So the first note I can do is G. So then I make this triad here, right, which is the C minor, right? And then if we go up the neck, the next note that we have in the C minor chord is C. So this turns into root position. So now we've got the first, the C, the E flat, and the G. So here's your second triad. And don't be afraid to sort of, position the neck so that your hand can open up. That's a bit of a stretch, all right, that triad. And then the next one here would be the third, which is E flat. So you use your second finger and then you bar the A and the D string on the 10th fret, which is a nice little minor chord, right? All right, so that's how to make those triads. And then of course here it is again, G, C, and E flat on the 15th fret. If you have a cutaway on your acoustic, that becomes easier. If not, it's a bit challenging. All right, and then you can do the same thing on your A string. So here's root position, so it's C, E flat on the D string, and then open G, right? And then we're going to move up to E, and then G, and then C. So this is this same little shape. Use your second finger on the 6th fret of the A string, your first finger pins the D and the G string. That's a very nice little sounding chord. And then we're going to go into root position. Actually it's not root position, it's G, C, and E flat, right? That's on 10th fret on the A string, 10th fret on the D string, and 8th fret on the G string. And now we're back to root position. So C, E flat on the D string, and G. Again, that's a little tricky, right? Like you may need to sort of play around with your guitar so that you can fret that, because it's a 3-fret stretch. So pinky on the 15th fret on the C, your second finger should be on the 11th or the 13th fret, and your index finger on the G string on the 12th fret. Okay? Now, because of B, you know how B is always tuned back a semitone, the little chord shapes change here when we start basing the chords off of the D string. E flat, it's kind of cool, right? You can play a C minor chord right there just by playing the first fret of the D string and the first fret of the B string and the open G. Sounds kind of nice. Now your next C minor chord, we're going to go up to G, right? We're going to go G, C, and then we'll do the E flat on the B string. And you'll notice that, from your bar chord shape, if you're used to playing big bar chords, there's your C minor chord. Well, here's just the triad right here, right? Like the G, C, and E flat. So you can play with these fingers, which is really nice, It's quite comfortable. Now we're going to go up to root position here. And so we've got C here, and then we're going to flat the E, and we're going to play the G on the B string. This is a bit of a tricky bar. So what you do is you play the root note on the D string on fret 10 with your third finger, and then your index will bar the G string and the B string on fret 8. Okay? And then you just, you can use a pick but you have to sort of mute the other strings to get this nice triad sound. And then we're back to here, which would be 13 on the D string, 12th fret on the G, and 13 on the B. All right. So that's it for off of the D string, and now it brings us to the G string. So that's the 5th fret on your G string, 4th fret on your B string, and 3rd fret on your high E. Use your 3rd finger, 2nd, and 1st. Right? There's that chord. And then we're going to go to E flat. And we can just bar all 3 here, which is a handy little, right? Beautiful sounding little triad. So that gives us like the E flat, the G, and the C is on top. Right? And then the next one, so this is sort of like a D minor shape moved up the neck. I guess it's your 11th fret on the high E string, making it the E flat, and then we're going to do the 13th fret on the B string, making that the C, and then the G will be on the 12th fret. So this will just look like your D minor chord, right? If you're used to playing your D minor, and you move that up to your 12 on the G string, 13 on the B string, and 11 on the high E string. Don't hit the other strings. So that's the short end of it, all right? So that's what you do. You just basically move those little triads all the way up the neck, and you can throw on a metronome and start practicing patterns and making it very smooth. The more that you can work on those triads just on your own without a song going, and just sort of get comfortable with them all over the neck, and then put on some music. The cool thing about this is once you've learned your C minor triad, you can play all of your other triads because you can just move them around so easily. Like, so this is C minor here in the like the sort of warm position here. But if we go up 2 frets with the same shape, it becomes a D minor, right? Because D is up 2 frets, right? Or 2 frets up again, and that's an E minor. So any of these shapes that we've sort of discovered here, like this nice one here, right? That's this nice little C minor chord, right? But you can move that up 2 frets and it's D minor. Or if you go back here, it's a lower sounding D minor. It's very pretty. So when you hear someone sort of strumming guitar on their own, they tend to do the big chords because it sounds nice and full. But when bands are playing together, the guitarist is often playing smaller chords, leaving room for the other instruments to play. All right, so really work with these triads. All of your following chords, like really cool jazz chords, are going to come from knowing these really well. So you really can't put too much work into your triads. It's really something that you should invest a lot of time in and get your little triad sounding really sweet. Throw on a metronome or a drum track and try moving them around and writing little riffs with them. And as always, be sure to make music with this stuff. Don't just make it an exercise. I'm teaching you the nuts and bolts, but I expect you to make great songs out of these and learn your favorite songs and rearrange tunes and be inventive and really push yourself to make music. Don't just do exercises, all right? Or you're going to sound a little drab when you're jamming. Okay? So guys, hit the subscribe button, please. It really helps us. Like the video, leave your comments below, and we're going to keep on pumping out these great videos for you. Or I hope they're great. I don't know if they are. Maybe we've got a ways to go, but it's coming from the heart. So always play from the heart and keep picking.